So, Warcross, the first in a duology. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. So this one, first off, it gives me Ready Player One, the movie, because I've not actually read the book, and also Free Guy. It gives me those kind of vibes, and as book-wise, I kind of get the Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow. Was that enough tomorrows? I kind of get those vibes as well, but not really as, not really as, I guess, specific in, oh, I don't know how to say it. Anyway, it gives me those vibes, which, yeah, because Warcross is this game which you play using Neuralink, which is to begin with, it's just you put on some glasses and then you kind of like connect to a virtual world. But then later on, well, sort of in the beginning, they start to show these development of lenses. So, you know, there's going to be a bit less noticeable, I suppose. I don't know. Also more advanced, but that's a different topic. Anyway, so we are following Emika. Emika, she accidentally sort of glitches into this Warcross Championship first. It's not a game yet, but like first showing kind of thing. Is kind of to show off the players of the game, because there's so many teams. Don't ask me how many, because I really couldn't figure it out. Just that there were a lot of them. Yeah, a lot of them. She sort of glitches in, and because of that, she's noticed by the creator of Warcross and the Neuralink and all that. He's called, if I am pronouncing it correct, Hideo. I'm sorry, I know. Some things I know. Anyway, let's say that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, so he offers her a job. So her living situation is not the best. She's in debt. She kind of does some bounty hunting kind of a deal for mostly the police, I guess, where she catches the criminals that the police doesn't have time to go collect along the way, and then she gets giving a lot of, well, bounty money, I guess, or whatever it's called. Anyway, he hires her to do this, but to pay her a hell of a lot more than she's used to. She's used to a couple of hundred, a couple of thousand, like, and the lower numbers. He's willing to pay millions. I mean, anyway, so apparently there's this dude called Zero who is attempting to ruin in some way Warcross. He's like, we don't get specifics. Even in the end of it, we don't really get a lot of specifics where all that's concerned. And Hideo hires Emika to hunt down this person. It turns out there's like a lot of other people involved in the whole thing, and there's also other bounty hunters and not just Emika. So it's basically she's competing against these other bounty hunters for the bounty of yeah, catching this Zero person. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, she gets drawn into this competition. She's drawn in as a wild card, which is a whole different subject altogether. As a wild card into the games, into one of the teams. So she is, as well as trying to figure out who Zero is and what the purpose of Zero is, she's also training to go into the competitions and win those, because why wouldn't you go all in when you're in something like that? Anyway, so basic gist of it. I'll say this much. I did like it. However, there are a lot of like details missing. Like, I couldn't for the life of me figure out what Warcross was, what kind of game it was. What was the deal with it? What was the end game? What was the purpose of it? I don't know, because at the same time you have this war games game, but you can also like log into this Neuralink thing and go into like the dark web kind of a place. So I was very confused about the whole purpose of this. Basically, I think what the Neuralink is basically like your computer, like you log on to the internet kind of a deal. Which is also a bit confusing because they have computers and then they have Neuralinks. I don't know. So what's the purpose of it all? There were a lot of details that could have been more specific, that would have given more to the book, to the story, that I at least would have enjoyed. But yeah, there was a lot of little things like that could have just put in more effort to, and it would have made sense. As far as me reading this book, a lot of the things, like the missing details part, I just had to skim over a bit. I just had to just accept it for what it was. I couldn't, for the life of me, understand the game. But I just had to deal with it. I just had to deal with that I was not gonna get what I wanted from the games, as it were. So yeah, I did like it though. So I'm actually, the ending, the cliffhanger has made me a bit excited for book number 2. So I will be reading that one and finishing off this vlog with that one. I will say though, that the without actually spoiling it, the cliffhanger part, I did see that one coming because I did have questions. There's some information you get in like the middle of the book, say, which just makes you question where you're giving this information. It's a bit too obvious. This information giving is too obvious for it to not, end up the way it did in the end. That's as far as spoiler. If you read it, you know what I mean. If you've not read the book, you're going to be hella confused by what I just said. I mean, I'm confused by what I just said, but yeah. On to book number 2. Wildcard. The ending to that duology, Warcross Wildcard. Honestly, this book made me realize, because reading book 1, I was like, I don't understand this game at all. I want more details. But reading this book made me just feel like, yeah, I don't feel like I need the details. I mean, I kind of want to know because I'm a curious little bitch. But, no, it's fine. It's fine. So in this one, like in the first one, we have just like laying the ground, as it were. But in this one, we go further. We go further, and there's like backstabbing. Who can you trust? It's it's so much fun. Honestly, I'm so happy to have finally read this duology. I mean, I've wanted to read it for years, ever since I first noticed what's the word? Legend. I read all of those books, but then I never really went further with Marie Lu. But this one, yes. I've heard people don't like it. I actually really liked it. It was a lot of fun. I mean, there's bits and pieces where you're like, this is not like, what is this? But honestly, you get that with most books, most series, duologies, standalones, whatnot. You can enjoy a book whether or not it's good or bad. I highly enjoyed myself. I mean, I'm kind of in that gaming era of my life again. So I'm very much like enjoying the like the Free Guy movie. It's called Free Guy, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, Ready Player One. I still haven't read that book. I really should, because there's a Ready Player 2 book as well, which I heard is terrible, by the way, but that's a different subject altogether. But I've seen the movie. I didn't really get into it the first time, but the second time around, highly enjoyed it. And also reading the Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, how many tomorrows was that? I don't know. I really enjoyed that, so I'm kind of in that era again. Also, I've started playing more games again, so that's probably why. But honestly, so much fun. I like the futuristic-ness of it all. And I mean, so many things make sense in it. I mean, there's this bit, so in the first one we actually see she has like a mobile phone and stuff, and then in this one it kind of disappears because they do all the connecting with each other through those Neuralink lenses. I mean, some have still glasses, but the lenses, they're getting lenses, all of them. And because of the, I mean, this is a bit of a spoiler if you haven't read it, because you get it by the end of book 1, but a bit of a spoiler is that the creator of the game, the creator of these Neuralink glasses, lenses, world, really, because it's the internet, only you can just have it on your face. Yeah, perfect. Great explanation. But he does this algorithm to which kind of controls people. I mean, his initial idea for creating this Neuralink was to be able to find out what happened to his brother, which he does find out, so that's that. But he goes a bit too far, and there's like a deeper meaning about how far do you go, how far should you go, because in a way the algorithm is there to also stop the criminals. So there's some criminals, like sex offenders, they go and kill themselves, and other criminals go and confesses to the police, the cops, they go and confess and go to jail and so on. So there's a sense to it, but like how far should you go, and also should just one person be in control of such power? I mean, the answer is no one should have control over everyone like that, just like with this flip of a switch. No, I really enjoyed it. Also, not very long, super easy to read. They're YA, so they should be super easy to read. Super easy, super fun, just a good time. So that's the end of this video. Woo! Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I shall see you all next time. Until then, don't go.